Today's video is all about Sonic, the highest performing EVM L1 combining speeds, incentives, and world-class infrastructure powered by S. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into this project, looking into some of the fundamentals such as the team, the tokenomics, the utility, and the overall value proposition, trying to figure out whether this project has what it takes to make it to our portfolio. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market. And the question is Sonic the opportunity? Guys, we're going to be doing a deep dive, trying to look into this project. Guys, there's a lot of details here that we got to go through because there's a lot of fundamentals that we got to get through. And obviously, we want to know, does Sonic have what it takes, right? Do we basically start scaling into this project, given that, you know, the market is on a downturn in average, and, you know, there's great opportunities, and Sonic is definitely or could be one of them. By the end of this video, guys, I want you to have a good understanding of what this project is all about and its overall value proposition. Okay, guys, and it's going to be from a retail perspective. You know, it's very important that at this current moment that we have all the fundamentals, all the details that we need to get fundamentally bullish from a retail perspective so that we can get mass adoption happening. We can get a lot of new retailers coming into this space, very comfortable with what Sonic has to offer. And of course, I'm going to be using the main website as the main platform to gather that information. We'll take a look at the white papers. We'll take a look at some of the other publications, but the main focus here is the website. The website should be well developed so that we can get all the info we need. All right, guys, so let's begin. We do have, as we land, very nice, very clean, very simple. That's what we kind of want. Nothing overbearing. Upgrade. Okay, so let's have a bit about a chat about this before we move on. Very important. What it's referring here is to the upgrade from Phantom. For those of you that don't know, Sonic was once, you know, I don't really like to say that it was a rebrand because it technically wasn't per se. It basically a complete upgrade to the point that it's a complete new chain. So it was once Phantom. They just, you know, repositioned the liquidity from Phantom to Sonic and issued a new token, a new coin called Sonic S, and took that liquidity from Phantom and is now trying to carry it over there. Now, the actual Sonic chain is different from Phantom, and there's a lot of differences, you know, with regards to, particularly with regards to speed, and that is where obviously Sonic is leading towards as far as its main value proposition. So let's consider that at this current moment. If you're a Phantom holder, just understand this is your opportunity to carry over those Phantoms into Sonic. The only thing that has changed recently is that you're no longer able to go from Sonic back to Phantom. If you're considering arbitrage or anything like that, you can't go back and forth any longer. You can only go from Phantom to Sonic. And at the current moment, there's no real clear indication as to when that is going to end. They said that they're going to leave it alone and leave the Phantom to Sonic bridge open. So you're safe. But you know what? I would say, obviously not financial advice, I would say the best thing to do is slowly get your Phantoms into Sonics as soon as possible. Okay, so that's that. Then you got a bridge if you're on different chains altogether and you want to bridge and so on. They have that option. If you want to stake, you can stake your S tokens to secure the Sonic network and earn rewards. That's useful. That's interesting. Of course, for a lot of us that want to have that stability or believe in the stability and want to get rewarded for that stability, that's an option there. So definitely a token utility or a coin utility. Here we have docs. If you want to go check out there, they do have an official white paper that's very technical, and they have a very light paper that is still equally as, in my opinion, it's actually a lot better than the official white paper, given that it's a lot easier to navigate. We're going to talk about that, and I'll show you some details in a second. Getting started with Sonic, I'm a user, you're a builder, so what I do like a lot about Sonic, as you know, if you've been watching my deep dives for the last couple of years, I focus on giving projects a lot of credit when they focus on their builder community. And the reason why is because ecosystem growth. ecosystem growth is very, very important to give the token maximum utility. So if you're a user, you get a wallet, you can download Rabby wallet, there's various wallets, but of course, right now a lot of people are using Phantom, but MetaMask works also. Then there's the bridge that I'm talking about, and then there's different applications. Immerse yourself in the ecosystem and earn points for the S token airdrop. So there's a massive ecosystem that right now, small but many projects, some OG projects from previous because it's EVM. Let's be real about this. EVM compatibility means that a lot of Ethereum based projects can definitely migrate over and easily be part of the Sonic ecosystem. So this is why we're seeing a lot of apps from the get-go. But not only that, we also have the OG apps coming in from Phantom, such as Spooky Swap and so many others, right? This was the OG decks for Phantom. So this is one of the things that I appreciate, is because they're not completely starting from scratch from an ecosystem perspective. They have their Phantom ecosystem that is slowly migrating over and accommodating. And not only that, we also have the new wave of projects that are taking full advantage and definitely being custom built for this new speedy Sonic that we're talking about here today. Okay, so this is all good stuff. So far, you can see the Shadow, we have Curve, we have lots of them, Kyber, we have a few others that we can see right off the bat, and then some newer ones that, are just coming up, and obviously good opportunities for us to scale into the ecosystem. Okay, so that's interesting there. And then if you're a builder, you got a little bit of a different options. Join the builders if you want to get in there, to get lots of opportunity there. And I think the biggest opportunity, the biggest value proposition for a builder is this, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more as well, just quickly. With fee monetization, you can earn up to 90% of the fees their app generates. So if you're a builder, you're going to be able to basically tap into the transaction fees, in the sense that you're going to earn 90% of them. Guys, that is amazing. Why? That incentivizes builders. If builders have an incentive, are incentivized to build, that means that there's going to be more ecosystem growth. Guys, this is pivotal. This is important, because when you're talking about a new chain, when you're talking about a chain that really is starting from scratch, you want to entice and attract all kinds of builders as possible. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Let's put it back to default real quick, and let's keep on going. Tailor-made for blockchain, Sonic offers unprecedented scalability and storage to developers, and streamlined experience for users. There's a lot of here, right? We have the scalability, which is part of the trilemma. Storage for developers. So are we talking about block size? Again, I'm not sure if it's a deep pin infrastructure, what were they referring to, but of course we're going to get into it. And a swift, streamlined experience for users, nice and clean. I'll be honest, I use their native not bridge, their native swapper, I would call it, going from their upgrade utility. Very, very easy to use, nice and seamless, nice and clean. And you can see the website is designed nice and clean, with cleanliness and ease of use in mind. So again, this concept we've talked about already, guys. That's huge. If you want to know more about it, obviously there's a learn more about it. To keep it simple, the fees that are generated by an app are not going just anywhere. They're going to the team, the developers, incentivizing more developers to come to join the network or the ecosystem. Real sub-second confirmation times, guys. This is part of the major value proposition here that is talking about Sonic, given the fact that, Sonic speed, we're talking about quick. Sonic is the fastest settlement layer for digital assets with over 400k TPS. Now, I'm not going to say it's the fastest, okay? And I'm also going to keep this very neutral, because we're definitely talking about speed in the last little while. There's a lot of projects coming out saying that they're the fastest. I'm not going to argue which one is faster. What I'm going to say is that this thing is fast. That's it. That's all we need. It's fast enough. And there's a lot of projects out there that are fast enough. The only thing is it Sonic, and what differentiates it from Sonic? That's super important. Let's keep on going. Sonic virtual machine. So this is important. If you guys know what EVM is, EVM means that it's Ethereum virtual machine compatible, but nonetheless, it's Sonic virtual machine, which Sonic virtual machine has its own, let's say, compiler, let's put it that way. And then 100% EVM compatible means that compiler is EVM compatible as well. So you're able to bring Solidity based contracts, and in this case Viper as well, into the ecosystem, which is beneficial. Like I said, we know that EVM compatible or EVM projects exist already for years based on Ethereum and all of that. So why not allow that to not be a piece of friction? They want to be frictionless. They want to be seamless. They want to make it easier. So this is one of their ways, and this is not a unique strategy. A lot of L1s have a EVM compatibility, and I think it's useful in that case. Increased security and reduced app crashes. Okay, good stuff. Sonic database, the low latency, fast transactions, highly scalable. We talked about this already. Low storage requirements and low cost maintenance. Good stuff for Sonic there. And the Sonic Gateway, we have a bridge, fast, most secure way to bridge from Ethereum and beyond because it is EVM compatible, and has been audited by one of the three of the major players here in this space. So bonus here. Good stuff here with regards to its foundational backend programming because it's audited, and then we see that the bridge from Ethereum, because usually bridges are choke points, bridges are vulnerability, but if they've been audited by three main, institutions, let's call them, organizations, then we're doing good. Stay up to date. Check out the monthly newsletter. This is one of the ways they communicate with their audience. That's very important given the fact that they don't have a very formal roadmap. I don't see a roadmap. I haven't seen one. Let me know, guys, if you are able to get your hands on one, but it would have been nice to get a roadmap. But they compensate by making sure that all their communication is out there as they are moving along with what they got to do, what they want to achieve, right? And of course, the socials are there, and the Discords are there, and the Telegrams is an announcement page. So you can be treated like a roadmap, but a roadmap, it gives you a little bit of that accountability, to say, within this quarter, we're going to achieve this, or we're going to try to achieve this, and this is where we're going to be focusing our energy and our money and our human capital, and that's where we're going with things. And it would be kind of nice to know that, right, where the main focuses are in the last little while. But they do insinuate, and they do give us little snippets of possibility and things like that, and focus on their socials and so on and so forth. So if that cuts the bill for you, I think that it's fine if at least they keep up with that communication. So if you're interested, you can sign up to their email, which is their newsletter email, and then obviously their socials right here. Let's continue. We reached the footer already. Pretty good, nice and clean and clear. I like that. As usual, the footer has a lot of additional or duplicate links, so feel free to check those out. And let's move on. All right, let's see what's going on here with this app. Okay, so this is basically the Sonic platform, where you get a lot of their current applications that they got going on. So their home, you can connect your wallet, and then from there you can manage your points, because you can earn points by participating on the network, and then by earning those points, you earn potential airdrops. Just keep it in mind, one of the biggest things that are being spoken about currently is about the Sonic airdrop, and I'm going to make sure I make that as squeaky clean and transparent as possible. It's not as bad as people think. They think airdrop, they think dilution, it's going to dump. It's not the case here, guys, and I'll show you why. But then again, you have to make your own decisions, guys, because obviously nobody knows what's going to happen. Now, in this case, the upgrade application, upgrading to Phantom to S, just make sure that you understand that needs to be done, and it should be done very soon. Right now, Phantom is still pegged somewhat to S. It's like floating around the same price, but to avoid any issues, I would start migrating if you haven't yet, and then the bridge and so on. Okay, so the upgrade, the points, let's go to the points. You can see there's a whole points. You can see the top 5 users, all kinds of different things going on here. Gems, how to earn points, activity points, passive points, and so on. And there's the leaderboard, and the frequently asked questions, and apps. Let's go here for a sec, because ecosystem, like I always said, I think I must have said this already 3-4 times, but ecosystem is important because that's what gives the coin utility. What are we going to use it for? Well, we want to get involved with the applications, whether it be games, AI, DeFi, and I'm going to and they're saying that DeFi right now is on Sonic's focus. Sonic, based on its history with Phantom and Andre, and so on, we know that DeFi is going to be a heavy hitter here for this ecosystem. So let's just quickly scroll. You can see you have Kyber Swap, DeFi. You got Third Web. Okay, some of these are coming over from Phantom. Some of them are EVM compatible. Some of them, might not be completely native to Sonic per se. Some of them were or are new and native to Sonic, and so on. Just keep in mind that we got Silo. Some people talking about that. Rhino Fi. We got interesting. Some people talking about that, and then we got some OGs like Sushi Swap. That's a DEX for Ethereum based projects. That's how it starts. That's how it began, and here we are. EVM compatible projects are able to tap into that option, right? So this is good. As we keep on going down, you can see that there's a lot of small apps, so a lot of like Paint Swap. There's a lot. Beefy Finance, Safe. You got lots of little ones, a lot of good ones. Rabby, okay, that's a wallet, a hot wallet that you could use, and if you're not using MetaMask, that's another popular option. Continue going down. You'll see a couple. We got, what is this? Blazing Bot and some Pendle, of course. Ethereum again, and we got a couple others that we can do. Spooky Swap, the OG. We're here. Stable Jack. I'm not sure what that is, but sounds interesting. We got a bit of a chat. Shadow Exchange. It made it, and we cut the bill here. Of course, this is a new spot DEX that a lot of people have been talking about. Interesting Pith Network, of course. The Speedy Oracle that a lot of these Speedy chains need to be involved with. So guys, look, I'm not saying that the ecosystem is complete. I'm not saying that it's going to give you every single software solution you could ever think about, but I'll tell you this, it is definitely in the works. And as you can see, we're starting to see a good plethora of DeFi projects. Maybe we're going to get some more game, but I can see a lot of game, DeFi, maybe a bit of games here and a few things here that we could use as far as analytics and things like that. But pretty good overall. I think there's going to be more room for growth here. Of course, there's always room for growth. So stay tuned, because I'm expecting, based on that 90% return on fees to developers, that incentive might get a lot more happening here. Okay, so keep it in mind. The staking options, as you can see, you can stake your S and earn 5% APR at the current moment. And then you got the various bridges that I told you about. You got the Phantom Opera upgrade to Phantom from Opera. You got your bridge assets from Ethereum and your third-party bridges, and then governance. As you can see, governance, let's stop here for a second. Governance is not currently available. Now, we did have governance for Phantom, and slowly that's how they were able to kind of like vote on the upgrade to Sonic. And they do have a vision to create, or not create, but transfer over that whole governance, or that DAO aspect, into Sonic very soon. It is on one of the topics of conversation in the last little while. So I'm waiting for that to happen. We have to understand that Sonic's still kind of in its transition. They're doing it slow and steady. So I'm hoping to see a bit of governance there, so we can get the community all involved in what's happening with the next steps of Sonic. So pretty good there, at least, but it's currently not in place. Okay, so I just want to be clear, because in the white papers, you're going to hear a little bit about governance, and I think that's fair to say that at the current moment we're still relying on the Phantom governance. Now, with regards to white paper, there's this white paper, this document right here, that's a very typical white paper. As you can see, it's like a PDF style white paper, but personally speaking, I prefer this. I like the Git books, guys. I can navigate, I could scroll around, and I just don't like that the search function doesn't work properly. I don't know if it's my experience or if you're seeing it as well, but nonetheless, I like this because I can navigate a lot easier, and so on. All right, let's begin. Let's kind of scrape through the major topics here about a typical crypto deep dive white paper type of scenario. We can see that there is a couple things. Let's go to the introduction. User and developer. I like the fact that they give equal amount of support for the users and developers, talking about both type of users in this case, because a developer is a user, but a user as a creator, which needs support as well. So I appreciate that. And if you're trying to add Sonic to your MetaMask, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need this right here to introduce a new wallet, Sonic Wallet. Okay, so the network actually needs to be added to MetaMask. So here you go. This is what you need. All right, so let's move on. You got the overview, which is going to give you a quick idea of what it is. Okay, so I did mention a lot of this already. It's an EVM L1. Okay, it's infrastructure, world-class infrastructure for DeFi. It's not just for DeFi, but because of its, because of who's creating it, and because of its history and its experience, and because of its speed, of course, DeFi is going to be, and be honest, DeFi should be where it's at. DeFi, we know that from that part of the narrative, it is a hot narrative. It is a good narrative to totally be established on. The chain provides a 400,000 TPS and sub-second finality. So it's fast. Okay, we got the point. It's very fast. Sonic is speedy. Good stuff there. EVM compatible. Solidity, Viper support. We talked about all of this. Currently, the Phantom upgrade is 1-to-1, and that's what you really want to know. So I said this already. Let's move on. The S token. Let's talk about the token a little bit. If you want to know more, you can see that my Sonic, I already showed you that page. Tokenomics. So at Sonic's launch, the total supply of Sonic is 3.175 billion. Okay, so let's be really clear about these numbers, because they're going to go very hand in hand when we start talking about the airdrop, because it's super important. 1.75 billion. We're talking about a lot of tokens. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't be scared of that, because a lot of people say, oh, that's a lot of tokens. How many are currently in circulation, right? This is super important as well. So let's continue going. An additional 6% of the 3.175 billion will be minted 6 months after Sonic's launch, exclusively used for the airdrop program. Now, the reasoning, if you listen to a lot of the podcasts or interviews of the founder, CEO, particularly Andre, you will notice that this additional 6% primarily is to get some interest. It's for marketing, to create a little bit of hype, and of course it needs to happen, guys. We know that this is one of the mechanisms here in crypto space, that in order to get people involved and interested and active on the network, to kind of see numbers start moving, we need to incentivize people, and 6% is not much, given that it is also behind a vesting schedule. Okay, this is what people don't understand, is that the 6% is not going to be dropping hot right onto the market, after 6 months. It's going to be on a vesting schedule. So we're going to be talking about all of this in more detail as we get the numbers. Okay, so let's continue. 6%, which equates to a small portion. Ongoing funding 6 months after the launch, increase as adoption and global presence. They want to continue a continuous fund. And now you're probably asking, but is this going to cause more dilution? Yes, it will cause some dilution, but as long as the return on their investment holds true, demand will outperform the supply. So what I mean by that, they are looking to invest into Sonic 1.5% of these tokens, which is, as you can see, 47,000 tokens. 47 million tokens. Again, we're talking about billions. So when we talk about billions total, 47 million is not that much. We're talking about 1.5%, and which will equate over the next 6 years. Over the next 6 years, so will be minted annually for the next 6 years. These tokens are going to be used for basically for the foundation. It's a funding, right? This is how they're going to run business. This is going to how get things happening, right? And as long as they can get return on that investment and create a scenario using this 1.5% to create more demand, guys, ultimately this is what we kind of want. We need a budget. We need to see this project flourish, unless you're going to rely on a VC to dump some capital on your lap. Where in this case, what you're really saying is, okay, guys, community, token holders, coin holders, I am going to dilute you just a little bit every year or so, and I am going to use that capital to reinvest it. So guess what? Your tokens will go up in value because I'm investing it within the project itself. And in this case, you're not relying on the VC to create that funding. We are, or people that are holders, are funding it through this dilution. Guys, think about it like that, okay? It's a good way to think about it. However, to guard against this inflation, this is super important, because there's a burning mechanism. Actually, I would say that there's three. Okay, it comes threefold, and we'll talk about that as we go through. Okay, so the first one is directly related with this funding. However, to guard against this inflation, the network will burn newly minted tokens not used during the year. So if for whatever reason the foundation feels like there's no need to spend it and there's any tokens left over, there will be a scenario where they will just get wiped off and burnt, which will make a dilution, basically rebalance the dilution, reduce the inflation. So ensuring that 100% of all the newly minted tokens from its initiative are allocated towards the network growth rather than being held by the treasury for later use, because then you have a massive lump of tokens. And I've seen this after 100 deep dives, guys. I've questioned this, is that a bunch of tokens get pulled up and then we're relying on the team to promise to never spend them or sell them or whatever, and that's a faith-based system. So for me here, this is good. After a year, if they're not used, burn them, get rid of them, and then we control the situation. The rest of them that have been spent, we're hoping that we're spending them through the governance and through the foundation, that the ultimate goal is to create more interest to Sonic. So we're talking about a software solution that is being treated like a business. To raise capital, you have to maybe create a little bit of dilution, and here we are. For example, okay, let's not get into the example. I think I made that very clear. Block rewards. So there's obviously going to be rewards, and just keep in mind, okay, I'm going to say this now, and we'll talk about it again. There's a no max supply here for Sonic, and this is typical of L1s. Just think about it like how Ethereum is built. Ethereum has no max supply. It's infinite, and so does Sonic. So what we are doing is fighting a battle. The battle is between inflation and keeping it on basically no inflation. We want to create a nice healthy balance. And now as the ecosystem grows and as there's more utility and as people use it, you're going to see that there's going to be a little bit of rewards that need to be issued here for individuals that are part of the staking or the validators and so on and so forth. The rewards that are issued to people that are keeping this blockchain alive. Now, as that happens, those rewards will continue increasing and there will be a sense of dilution. However, the mechanisms are important here, the burning mechanisms. To preserve the value and avoid new inflationary rewards at Sonic's inception, we will not mint new tokens for block rewards during the initial 4 years, as stated. After the period, the S block rewards will resume by minting new tokens at a rate of 1.75% per year to reward validators. Okay, so let's just keep in that. And I'm glad that they quickly, because after reading this and after understanding what's really happening, people are like, oh, okay, we're having basically dilution here over time. But guess what? There's a burning mechanism. And this is very typical. Remember when Ethereum had its burning upgrade, its burning mechanism upgrade, burning based on utility or transaction rate? Now we have Sonic introducing a threefold type of burning mechanism. Free monetization burn, which is super important. If a user submits a transaction on an app that isn't participating in FEEM, 50% of the transaction fee will be burnt. Okay, so that's one way of counterbalancing the inflation. Users who choose not to wait for a full 270-day maturation period for 75% of their airdrop will lose a portion of their S tokens, which will be burnt. So let me clarify this. What happens is you're going to get an airdrop. There's a lockup period for that airdrop. You can't, if you want to get access, if you want to make that liquid as soon as possible, you will have to burn a portion of those tokens or that value. Plain and simple. Okay, so airdrop burn, full in effect. Okay, so that's one way to counterbalance. Ongoing funding burn. From the 47 million tokens that we talked about earlier, about the funding burn minted annually in the first 6 years of Sonic's fund growth, the network will burn any tokens that are unused. We talked about that as well. So we have a little bit of burning happening here, which is going to counterbalance the amount of tokens that are issued over time. And you're going to notice that they're all directly related. Well, majority of them here are directly related to transactions. Okay, the more we transact, the more we do, the more we build, the more we get involved, the more we start burning. So it's viable. It's definitely viable. And just keep in mind that there's still governance coming into play, which could tweak a lot of these little factors to improve over time as the Sonic chain matures and establish itself. Okay, so let's keep on going. You can see the fees, the rewards, towards the ecosystem vault. I'm not going to get into that a little bit into too much detail because I think we got a bright understanding of what's happening here. The wallets, if you again, there's a lot of wallets. If you want to establish your wallet, we got Rabby, MetaMask, OKX wallet, Trust Wallet. You know, the OGs, typical. And then the Sonic Gateway, which we kind of already talked about. And build on Sonic if you're a builder, no development, funding, airdrop. So, you know, we talked about the airdrop a little bit already. And if you want to be a part of it, you have to earn your points and your gems and Sonic booms and all of this kind of stuff. And this is how it's going to happen, right? So, Sonic launch, so around June 2025, the airdrop is going to be coming in, right? So, a lot of people are waiting, anticipating this to happen and worried about the dilution and all of that. But, guys, I'm telling you, it's not a big part because ultimately, at that time, 25% of the 6% is going to be allocated immediately. Fine, we get it. The people that are getting in here early, doing their thing, you know, securing the network, all of this stuff, and transacting and, you know, beta testing and all that, get a bit of a reward, 25% of the 6%, but the rest remaining will be vested. Okay, 75% over 270 days. And as I mentioned before with the burning mechanism, if they want to take it earlier, okay, if they want to get out earlier, they're going to be burnt. Some of them will have to be burnt. Okay, so there's a bit of dilution here over time, and just understand that that's a healthy way of doing business. You're going to need a couple of those tokens or coins to get some action happening, because how else are you going to get on the get some action on your socials and get people involved? So it's a cost for marketing. It's a marketing provision, basically. Okay, so this is interesting. So you got points, fee monetization, apply. Okay, there's a lot of little things here that are not in an innovator fund. There's an innovator fund, I think about 200 million as tokens, foundation treasury to expedite immediate adoption of apps of Sonic. So they're really putting a bit of capital up front to basically help the growth of the chain, of the apps and so on. So we can see that this is one step in that direction, which I also appreciate. Anything that I see funding developers, bring it on, guys. I know you might want airdrops, more airdrops, so who cares about the airdrops, guys? It's, for me, it's about get people building on it, because without applications, there's no reason to use Sonic, if you think about it. And if there's no reason to use Sonic, how your coin's gonna have value? Think about it. Yeah, you need your coins to have some value, and the only way to get that value is to have applications, a lot of them, and good ones. So here you go. Let's get that going. I found that to be interesting. And then the migration, you got a lot of support here, and some other things if you want about the technology. I'm not going to get into too much about the technology, because I'm going to tell you this, guys. You got some really, really smart individuals here that are dealing with the back end of the tech itself, the algorithms, and the rebasing of different things. Because of course, guys, there's rumor, there's an interesting talk about Sonic coming up with a native algorithmic stablecoin. So I'm expecting this team, especially Andre, to really lead this into the next direction, okay, the next level, given that he has a lot of experience in that field in DeFi. He's one of the OGs, the major innovators in that space. So we'll talk about the team in a little bit of a second here, but guys, I feel like the tech is tailored for DeFi, and what a team this is in order to really tackle that straight on. I think it's very valuable. All right, let's jump right into some of the socials. Let's do some of the socials, and then we'll do our recap. We'll do our thing. Socials are doing pretty good. They have a bunch of followers, guys. They have 826,000 followers. That's pretty good. That's, of course, it's Sonic. It's Phantom. It's popular. It's OG, guys. What can I say? And right now it's pretty hot there. One thing that I do expect to cause a little bit of a positive stir, is the Sonic Summit in Vienna. Summits are usually places where major announcements get issued, and I can expect, like I mentioned, talk of algorithmic stablecoin and native DEX. Okay, the DeFi main native DeFi DEX, even with perpetuals, leverage trading. I'm expecting something to happen there, because again, the team is very focused on that and has been focusing that for years. So why not see that happen, guys? It's coming around the corner, May 6th to 8th. They're gonna have that. That would be interesting if you could attend. Weekly reminder. Okay, Circle is coming to Sonic. That's great. That's something that, is obviously we want some stable coin action there so that we have a healthy DeFi platform. A Beefly Finance is now whitelisted to earn airdrop points. So there's a lot of the airdrop talk, airdrop program, and stuff like that. We're getting a lot of social engagement as well. And the team is solid because they're all, especially Andre. He does a lot of podcasts and vlogs and things like that where he goes interviews. Let's put it that way, interviews. So the summit and what else? There was a couple other things. New all-time high transactions. There's a lot of transactions on a given day. It's about 10% trading volume, 10% of its market cap, which is for me pretty good. And the other day, I think it peaked at almost 20%. Crazy, good stuff. This is Andre himself. Go listen to some of his interviews, guys. He will definitely school you a couple about what Sonic is all about, guys. He can't explain better than me. He can explain way better than me. I'm just putting it that way. Go check it out. Listen to what he has to say, and then that's that. The gateway and so on. So the socials are active. You can see that they're posting lots of speakers, Sonic Summit, and so on. Engagement is there. Engagement is there. So good stuff on socials. Now keeping on band with socials, the Telegram is announcement only. Fine if you're interested in that, and the Discord obviously is a lot better for social communications, right? So go on there and you'll get a lot of your answers. There's somebody there from the team ready to answer any questions. There's a lot of information with regards to these updates on the Discord as well. So go check it out. Let's continue going on. Let's talk about the team for a second because you guys know that, I've been saying the name Andre. I'm a Kronji, I think that's how you say his name. I'm sorry for butchering it, but here we are. Chief Technological Officer. Now, obviously, there's others. I'm not diminishing their your contributions, and we got some very talented, bright individuals. But the one that has the face mostly that is out there on the social speaking, and we know from previous cycles with Phantom and obviously his involvement with Ethereum and all of that, guys. Andre, this is the one that we kind of are looking towards to see how we can see Sonic get to the next level. But again, lots of action here. We got executive officer, executive chairman, and we're going to take a look at their profiles right now. You can see that here on LinkedIn. We got about 66 associate members, lots of different people, lots of different business individuals, marketing individuals. You can see venture VC individuals, lots of different. This is Andre. We're going to take a look at his profile. A passionate community manager, CEO. I don't know. We got some people there. You can see there's a lot of happening, and they're full developed team with established talent. Of course, look, there's a lot happening here. Well, I'm going to focus on the CEOs, right? Because the CEOs are very tech based themselves. And of course, we're talking about blockchain. So my major concern is who's the talent behind the tech. And then again, obviously, we need a little bit of other, software research development director, managing the DeFi strategy at Sonic Labs. There's a lot of happening. Okay, a lot happening. Let's continue. Andre, let's start with him. Okay, so he's the chief technology officer, Phantom Foundation. He's full time there, guys. That's what I want to see. Full time commitment. Here we have a DeFi architect, Ethereum freelance. So he worked alongside DeFi, Ethereum, and within the Ethereum network, let's say, Yearn Finance and Curve. That's where he was a part of. He is the founder of Yearn Finance, full time at this point. He did his own thing, self-employed. And then you can see the Phantom Foundation, definitely up in there, and chief crypto code reviewer and crypto briefing and so on. So he's got education. He's got experience, guys. This guy's an OG in the space, considered one of the founders of DeFi, one of the major contributors to DeFi. So many people bullish on what he's capable of bringing to the table, given his connections, given his experience, given his education, given everything, guys. So we're banking on really strong memberships here on this team. Michael Kong, CEO, Sonic Labs, again, full-time here, chief executive, teaching assistant, chief technology officer, digital holdings advisor. So you can see a developer at Block 8. So we got some Ethereum-based development experience, and so on. What else? Microsoft. We got a couple of good things here. So tech tech definitely involved. Endorsements, University of Sydney, Bachelor of Information Technology, Systems and Commerce. We're good. We're good. We're good. We got another managing director. I think this individual, there's not much detail here, but it seems like he's like a little legit just business. I really don't know. Executive chairman. It looks like a business. I don't know what's involvement in tech, but he's a law. He's a law person. Again, with DeFi law and all of that, you kind of need that. So I appreciate his contributions. He's one of the OGs here. And as well, this individual right here, not much happening, but Black Space Management, Digital Currency Holdings. Whenever I see holdings, I see capital, I see VC contribution, I see business acumen, I see, yeah, that kind of stuff. So you can see that even with this, I wasn't able to get information on one more individual. This dude right here, I know he has some podcasts and some he's out there a little. Go check him out. He's one of the brains behind the operation as well. And bullish, bullish, bullish. Okay, so the team is solid. The team is large. We got lots of different professionals across various sub industries or supportive industries that will definitely help Sonic. Okay, so good stuff there. Then I was looking at this website to kind of get more information. You can also come here to see some of their details and some of their links to their socials if you want to check them out. And that concludes that. The reality is that this project is a full right now in full force. It's definitely throttle, metal, full on. And this is what we want to see. We want to see a project coming out hot. And I think that at this current moment, they're still in the growth phase, but pedal to the metal, right? That's basically what we're waiting for. Okay, so let's take a look at this as a summary, guys. As per usual, I do release a summary about the project on the socials, and this is what it looks like. So anticipate you're going to get this very soon on all the socials, so feel free to check out that. I got links in the description. Let's see what it is, what I got going on here. And of course, this is a very transparent type of document that you're going to get, so feel free to go check that out. Let's see what's going on here. We got ecosystem. Okay, so ecosystem from this perspective, it's a Sonic gateway. This is what they have. The Sonic point system, this is what they have. They got some bridges. Of course, the bridge is the gateway, and this is what they got. And at this current moment, we have 100 plus dApps, including Shadow, Silo, Beats. These are SwapX, these are projects, and more like Spooky Swap and so on that people are talking about. Now, I gave it 8 out of 10, not because I think it's bad, because I think that they're still pushing for more. And when I look at ratings like this, I don't look at these ratings only, oh, they're bad, it's no good, 8 out of 10 or 5 out of 10, 2 out of 10. That's not what I look. When I want you guys to interpret this is that, is there a possibility to improve this further? And I say 100%. There's growth here. So since that I can see growth, since I can see the potential growth in their ecosystem, I have no choice but to say 8 out of 10 to give it a little bit of that room. Because once it reaches 10 out of 10, guys, the project is going to be much higher in value and price. Okay, so we got to understand that. It's 8 out of 10 because I believe that there is more opportunity within ecosystem growth, and they are cranking and pushing for that to happen. So what, guys? Be prepared for a 10 out of 10 one day. Okay, so just be prepared. Utility. There's one thing that I'm waiting for, and that would have gave it a 10 out of 10, and I'm going to work my way backwards here. It's the governance. It's not there yet. So I'm waiting. Governance is necessary to give people a sense of decentralization, not just with regards to tokens, and because I will talk about tokenomics a little bit in a second, because super important. But with regards to governance, if there is any tokens that are going to be released to any foundation, we want to know that the governance or decentralized authority exists. And right now it's a little bit in that transitionary phase. Okay, so we have to understand that. But the token utility or the coin utility at the current moment is gas, staking, validator collateral, and various types of incentives and deflationary mechanism. Very robust, very well balanced. And all we're waiting for is governance, and then 10 out of 10. And a whole marketing campaign with regards to that. And then maybe a little bit of pumpage there again, giving us that little bit of an opportunity for more, for a 10 out of 10 there. Okay, guys, so keep an eye on that one. Roadmap, no official roadmap. Again, I don't appreciate that. I want a roadmap, but if you go on their socials and you go on their Discord, they literally post everything that they're working on and what's about to happen on there. Is it enough? Is it an excuse to not have an official roadmap? No. Every project should have a complete official roadmap for accountability to a degree. I'm not saying they got to give us the date, the exact date and time that it's going to be released, but give us an idea of where we're allocating our efforts in the next little while. So I can allocate my capital, where to figure out where to allocate capital in the next little while as well. And of course, there's always risk that the team doesn't make it. And I know that that's one of the reasons why a lot of teams do not post roadmaps, is they don't want to be held accountable. But at least give us some idea within quarterly boundaries. Okay, so that's, for me, it's good. Discord has all the updates. So no roadmap, 6 out of 10, but at least keeping us up to date. And Andre and the social labs socials keep us up to date. Andre is very active on socials as well, giving us little snippets of information about what's yet to come. And again, I'm going to say this now, but might as well. What's yet to come, unofficially but somewhat official, is the potential algorithmic stablecoin, which is very, very interesting, and a native DEX, which is obviously very, very interesting as well. So keep in mind that that has that it could be potentially in the pipeline, and that also would tap right into, you know, its ecosystem growth, more ecosystem project. That would give it a 10 out of 10 for sure. Okay, the team, in my opinion, guys, lots of experience in the blockchain industry. We're talking about OGs, Web3, particularly DeFi. Andre is well known for his contributions to DeFi. A lot of people are banking on Andre the same way they banked on Andre for Phantom, and Phantom did well as well. It did contributed quite a bit into the DeFi space, even through his Ethereum days and so on. So bonus, I appreciate it. Let's move on from that. Socials, lots of X followers, good engagement. Telegram is announcement only. The only problem that I have with that is there's so many users on Telegram that love Telegram and that don't like Discord. It's almost like it's either you're a Telegram user or a Discord user. I see a little bit of that flexibility lately. A lot of people just embracing both because they're somewhat different, guys. For me, Discord is where it's at. Of course, I embrace Discord. I have my own Discord. Check out the links in the description. But nonetheless, for me, it's all about how is it going to make it easier for users to communicate more effectively. Telegram is very difficult to communicate effectively. It's just a lot of noise happening. So I understand their choice for announcement only. However, a bit of moderation could kind of give us an opportunity to use the Telegram platform for what it's intended and maybe get some community growth there as well. But literally 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, pretty good. Tokenomics, okay. This is where, again, so I'm going to just reiterate because to make it very clear, small airdrop is coming. It is vested. It's 190 million S coins, okay, compared to the billions that are already in total. Total right now is fully diluted. So all tokens are in circulation based on total, not max, okay? And if I want to try to put both of this in field of view so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? You see how I have let's see, total volume, not total, max supply. So this is your total, 3.175 billion. Basically, there's a lot of tokens, but the tokens are all in circulation because you see the fully diluted is pretty much the same as the market cap. So we're pretty much fully diluted. We have to understand that this is the case. In the next little while, we are going to see some tokens issued, and the supply, the circulating supply, and the total supply and the total are the same. So 100% in circulation. However, as these airdrops come in, we're going to increase the total supply because the max supply is infinite. But remember what I said, we're going to have some burning happening here to improve this force. 1.5% yearly mint for the foundation fund is another thing that people talk about or could be worried about, but it's the cost of doing business, guys. It's very little to keep the wheels moving for the project, okay? So this is necessary. Relationships. Okay, Chainlink, Pith, we got USDC, Solve, which is a yield-bearing Bitcoin asset. Project Rings, another project with regards to Bitcoin derivatives, Symbiosis for cross-chain swapping. These are some relationships. There's a lot more, guys, out there. I'm not going to be able to put everything, but these are the ones that stood out to me. And of course, one may argue, is Chainlink really a relationship? Is Pith really a relationship? Yes and no. I say yes and no here. Why? Because given that their main focus at their current moment is DeFi, they have to have a strong relationship with Chainlink and Pith. And given that they're OGs in this space, I believe that they are going to have great relationships with these people. They grew up together. Let's put it that way, especially Chainlink. So what I'm looking for here is complete integration with regards to the various projects, especially the oracles. We're talking about Chainlink Pith being an oracle, Pith being the fast, speedy oracle, the one that handles speed. And because Sonic is fast, Chainlink may not be able to provide the data feed for DeFi that they need. So Pith integration is ideal, and so on. So 10 out of 10 there, guys, for what they're trying to achieve. I think that those relationships are spot on. 9 out of 10 for exchange listings. Of course, we got one area of improvement, which is Coinbase. They're on everywhere else, guys. I don't see a Coinbase listings. I could be wrong, but I don't see a Coinbase listing. But ultimately, everything else is here. We got Binance all the way down to Gate and KuCoin, Blowfin. Guys, if you're looking for an exchange, if you're new to crypto or you're an OG and you want to try out a new exchange, I got Blowfin, I got MEXC, I got BitNEX. Links in the description. BitNEX is offering a great program right now with a small deposit. You get a nice trading bonus, so go check out the links in the description. But you can see that they are pretty much everywhere at the current moment, so pretty good stuff. Back to tokenomics. I just want to be clear about this. We're talking about S at a 47-cent evaluation or price right now. Market cap is pretty much diluted. Trade, and I'm actually debating on whether this is accurate. It's not the point. It's all tokens are in circulation at this current moment, and the trading volume is great, right? We're talking about 10% of the market cap, which means that we're getting a lot of trading volume. And at one point, it was at almost 20%, which was great. A lot of people trading on the network. So if there is if there is 3.175 billion tokens currently in circulation, what does it mean to have a few percent in airdrop? Nothing, guys. It doesn't mean much. And it's just going to bring more hype, especially if we start seeing a reversal in this space to start seeing a bull run. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now back to here, my overall verdict. Now, there's a lot of data here, guys. I had a hard time getting everything in here, crammed in here, so bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to do my best. It is an L1. It is EVM. It uses DAG technology. It has ZK. It's speedy. It's Phantom rebrand, but more than that, so it's picking up on Phantom. Now, some may argue that that's not a good thing. Rebrands, and I'll be honest, yes, rebrands suffer, and it usually does. But this is more than just a rebrand. It is not a rebrand. In fact, it's not like it's the same chain being rebranded. What it is just rebranding the liquidity that already exists on Phantom, which it could still be a struggle. But this is why they're emphasizing a little bit of marketing here with these airdrops and all this noise, and it's very necessary here, guys, because Sonic has a good potential, but without a proper mass adoption technique, it could suffer. So this is important. High throughput and sub-second finality. Again, the speed. Just to reiterate, airdrop becomes claimable after 6 months after launch, June 2025. So it's coming around the corner. 25% immediate, while the rest will be vested over 270 days. I'm emphasizing this because this is what a lot of people are worried about. Okay, and just keep in mind that if they want to get those access to that liquidity earlier, they will have to burn a portion. Okay, so that burning mechanism kicks in. 1.5% will be mined annually for the foundation over the 6 years, starting 6 months after the mainnet. This is necessary. Innovator Fund. They have a bit of a bag of tokens, of coins, to help the ecosystem grow. Guys, if you are in it and realizing what this project really is, it's a software solution business. They need to invest in their business, and this is the way they're doing it, creating incentives for ecosystem ecosystem builders to come in and build. That's what they want. So again, back to the burning mechanisms. There's three types. 50% of the transaction fees burn. Early airdrop claim burn. Unused fund burn. There's burning, and that's what we need, especially the fact that we have a max supply, situation here. We want to make sure that we have enough mechanisms here to keep inflation at bay. Fee monetization: developers earn 90% of the network fees from their dApps. Guys, what else do developers need to come on here and to start building? They get paid. This is good. There's lots of profit sharing opportunity here with regards to fees. No inflation in the first 4 years after the inflation capped at 1.75%. So in the first 4 years, no inflation. Right, so so rewards are being suppressed, and then after that, they're going to cap it at 1.75%. And as the ecosystem grows, we're hoping that the transactions will obviously grow, and obviously the burning mechanism kicks in because 50% are going to be burned. In that case, keeping inflation at bay. That's what we want to see. That's a well-balanced scenario. And this is something that a lot of L1s that have max supply implement. Sonic Summit is around the corner. I think that could be a good gainer, good opportunity to see a bit of pumpage. Sonic Labs rolled out a new DAG-based consensus protocol that is being talked about and pumped at the current moment. I think that's hot. I think you should look into that. Governance is in the works. Again, that transition, still in transition. So governance is a key. I'm keeping my eye on that because I want to see that everything is, especially from an organizational perspective, because since most of the tokens are already in circulation, as tokens enter, we want to make sure there's a governance protocol involved. Okay, so that's important. And then as far as the team, guys, again, I'm going to focus on Andre, is widely recognized for significant contributions to the decentralized finance DeFi space, notably as the founder of Urine Finance and Keeper Network. Guys, if you're an OG, you know what I'm talking about. And seriously, I think that this overall project has a lot to offer for the next few years. Okay, I don't think Sonic is going anywhere other than up. Okay, so just think about it. As with the market cap of Sol. Now, this was a very interesting one, maybe controversial. And the only reason why is because, of course, we know that Sol is a heavyweight. Whether you like it or not, it's the fact. It's a market cap wise, it's a heavyweight. Now, could S, catch up? Okay, we could say it's possible. Okay, it's a bit of a long shot, but it's possible. Could we say that Sol might lose some of its market cap to other L1s out there that are coming in within the same ideas, and being EVM compatible and being equally as fast and so on, and being decentralized and so on, may be coming in with a bit of a value proposition to compete with Sol. So if it does, and it can catch up to Sol, and it could basically get to that level, you're talking about a 40x. Okay, so it could reach about $19, guys. That's insanity, right? Obviously, you're saying, Mike, chill out. But modestly speaking, guys, I can see it reaching $10. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen in one cycle, but at least if we can get a proper move based on its market cap and its size and what it's gearing up to do, I've seen projects do an easy 10, 20x and not a problem. The thing is it Sonic gonna be able to do it? Now, again, I'm trying to be very modest here. I'm looking at the largest L1 with the same narrative, very similar technology as far as speed and so on and so forth. And, even within its ecosystem comparison, if you look at Sol and you remove all the meme coins, Sol's ecosystem is not that big. So we have to understand that it's very, very possible, and I give it an overall rating of 9 out of 10 because there are still some factors that need to be tightened up here. However, it's very easy fixes, and some of them can be overlooked, such as the roadmap. Like I've always said, as long as the team is giving us what we need on socials, it's not bad, but it still needs to be there. Okay, guys, so just a little bit of a roundup here. We're doing pretty good with Sonic. I think there's a lot that we could see in the next a couple weeks to a few months with Sonic and the overall crypto space in general, because we need to see the market flourishing once again to get some of this market cap back. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts as well, so I got an analysis for you. So let's begin. Let's take a look at what's going on with the chart. This is the Bitcoin chart, and as you can see, Bitcoin has been, a little bit, worried in the last little while, but it's okay because really what we're waiting for is Bitcoin to reverse. And if Bitcoin reverses, we're going to see Sonic do very well. Now, Sonic ultimately the chart itself is somewhat not fair to look at, I would say, because you're not getting the big picture. Because Sonic is still pegged to the Phantom coin, it is very, very viable for you to be always or also looking at the Phantom chart, because there's a bit of arbitrage opportunity there. Okay, so we got to understand that is that because you can see the chart is exactly, especially towards the tail end, the previous price action, because they're pegged, you can use it as it's just a little bit more friction lately because you can't go from Sonic to Phantom, only Phantom to Sonic. So just keep that in mind. Over time, Sonic is going to have its true price, and eventually Phantom is going to have less of a peg, perhaps. It's going to be harder to keep it pegged, but it's all good. As you can see, the way Phantom is, it's trying to form a bottom here, trying to, like it did before. So it's a bit of a scenario where we can see the price at the bottom of the trend line. Now, be careful with becoming trend line liquidity. As you can see, these wicks come down and wreck a lot of new traders that just use trend lines and just trade trend lines. Trend lines are very, very oversimplified, and a lot of newcomers are used by the market makers as liquidity by just focusing on trend lines. Okay, so be careful. What we can see is that liquidity is here. We got volume, market participation, lots of stuff here. If we break below, I would say 36 cents, we're coming down. Okay, and that's when your real magic happens. In fact, right now is not bad of an opportunity. And just to recap, the reason why I'm looking at Phantom is because Sonic does not offer the entire chart. Right? It just shows the tail end, whereas Phantom shows the entire chart, including what Sonic is showing us, which is right here. Okay, because once again, they're still pegged 1-to-1. Okay, so this is where we're at. Now, where would I potentially want to take risk? Honestly, there's no other better place than right now to take some risk, even if it's 50% of what you're willing to allocate into Phantom. So now, right into this area, and then obviously, guys, reserve a bit of capital, because obviously nobody knows what's going to happen in this space, but the ultimate opportunity is here, and then stop, right? We need to come down here. If we do come down here, you wait for some sort of market structure, and then you get in, you start scaling in right into this level. If it falls below, market makers are having a bit of fun, tapping into stop loss liquidity, or basic liquidations, right? If we get that reversal right here, bonus, guys, we're done. We have our bag, a bit of a bag in, we're ready to go. And if we start to build a nice structure to the upside, you can take the capital that you reserved for this level right here and deploy it right into here. And if it runs, it runs. And then we start looking for higher highs and price action to the upside. There's high speculation that the market is ready to reverse right now, given the fact that Bitcoin's hitting a bit of a bottom. The economic stability is kicking in. We have geopolitical, kind of all the cards are on the table. And it's about time that we start to see a bit of a reversal here. Now, if we're going to look at oscillators, let's take a look at the synergy signal oscillators, guys. If you are looking to check what this is all about, synergy signal, I got links in the description below. It's a custom indicator that has been absolutely killing it for me lately. So go check it out. I use it a lot on the Discord. I use it on my live streams every single night, 8 p.m. EST. Feel free to join so you can check out how I use this. But ultimately, I'm a bit concerned right now with the fact that we got overbought. We're stuck in a bit of a choppy scenario in the chop zone, and maybe on the next bearish response, we come down for another test of a low. If we can get oversold, I'll be a lot happier. But we haven't gotten oversold here, and we went overbought. So why do we have to get oversold now? Right? And if you kind of see what's happening here, we're either triple bottoming or slightly lower low, but whatever, we're holding steady here while the momentum is slightly upwards. So this is slightly downwards and this is slightly upwards without getting completely oversold. So the risk you're taking is that we do get oversold and drop below 30 on the next bearish response from here. As you can see, we got a red dot, which is not the greatest thing, I'll be honest. And then we start to come down here, and then we see the bearish response. Now, is the bearish response going to do one of these and hunt a little bit more liquidity and then back test and spring? Possible. Given the momentum is slowly trying to curl upwards, it is definitely possible. I want to remove the risk out of accumulating and just DCA. Just buy a little bit, accumulate, buy a little bit here, buy a little bit now, deploy, 10%, 10%, and then reserve 50% more to keep on DCing down here. Another, with the rest of it, 10%, 5 times, right into here as we build a structure. And overall, you'll see that your average position will be about, let's say, 32 cents, whatever, 30 cents. And then ultimately, when we get that reversal, you'll be quite happy. What I'm worried about is the next little whiles, particularly on Monday, given that the markets have been really, really good over the weekend. We could see a bit of a sell-off leading into Monday, even Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe a nice reversal by Wednesday or something like that. So let's just be careful here, because ultimately I don't think the market is completely has resolved the bearish sentiment yet. However, the opportunities could be where we are at a bottom and eventually get that reversal, and it could be very swift. This is why DCAing is ideal. And if you can see where this chart is at, you're not buying the tops, you're not exit liquidity, you're in. If you're fundamentally bullish, this is the time to get these prices. On the way up, it's going to be too late. You're trying to jump on a moving train. It is definitely too late. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.